Okay, I accidentally stopped my video. So let's look at this example here. And go ahead and pause the video and copy it down. Use your ID to make straight edges. Okay. Now remember, on angle addition postulate, what we're looking for are two angles or more. There could always be more, but two angles that we could add together that would equal a whole. So you're going to see them adjacent to each other. They're going to be right next to each other here. So I have angle PQS, SQR, and I know when I put those two together, I make PQR. So I'm going to go ahead and jot that down while I'm thinking of it. So I know angle PQS plus angle SQR equals angle PQR by angle addition postulate. It's good that we put our little proofs, our reasonings off to the side, because when we get to two common proofs, it's going to make it a little bit easier, okay? All right, now I always say make sure all my diagrams completely filled out and all the information is written on there. I see they did tell me that measure of angle PQR is 141. So what that means is I know this whole thing should equal 141 degrees. Therefore, I can go ahead and fill out my measurements here. And so I can say the measure of angle PQS plus the measure of angle SQR equals the measure of angle PQR. And I believe I probably could have done my measures earlier. Excuse me. So 13x plus 4 plus 10x minus 1 should equal 141. Now I've turned it into an algebra problem. I'm going to put a little smiley face there because you've been solving problems like this for years. And if you're still struggling, this is the year you're going to get it, I promise, because we do so much of this in geometry, changing our original problem into an algebraic problem by using our correct methods of geometry, in this case, angle addition postulate, and then we just solve. So I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms here. So I know 13x can be combined with 10x to get 23x. So if you struggled, and were like, when algebra came along, it was like, wait a minute, numbers and letters don't go together. You're right, they don't, so don't combine them. All the x's go with x's, all the numbers with numbers. Remember that 13x just means literally 13 x's. I just don't want to draw out 13 x's. Do you? No. So that's how we're going to do that. And then 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay. Now it's a two-step equation. I am going to move, I always call him that loner. It's that number that's cool enough to hang out with the variable, just not cool enough to be right next to them. In math, we call it the constant. I always say he's constantly alone. He's the loner. So move the constant term that we're wanting first to get x by itself. And then next to means to multiply, and the opposite of multiplying is to divide. And we show division as a fraction. I'll go ahead and jot this down. I write it on a lot of papers, and this is what I use in my class. We say next to means to multiply. And every fraction is division. And that's what I use in my classroom. So we say 23 is next to the x, meaning it's being multiplied. The opposite of multiplying is dividing, and we show that as a fraction. And then every fraction is division, so 138 divided by 23 is 6. So there's a lot of information we can take away from this problem here. First step is I found x. If the problem just said find x, would be good. Okay, but as we saw with segment addition postulate, they could go further and ask us to find more measurements, which makes sense because in the real world, I don't just want x, right? I want the actual measurements. So let's go ahead and find the measurements of all, well, I want to say all three, but we already know PQR is 141. So let's find these two smaller angles. So the measure of angle PQS is 13x plus 4. And I can just substitute in my 6 here. Measure of angle PQS is 82. So see, we could go a step further and find that angle. We can go a step further and find this last one. So measure of angle SQR is 10x minus 1. I will go ahead and substitute in that 6. That's why substitution has been such a big standard for you since like 6th grade. We get 59. Oop, you can't see it. So this problem, we were able to find 3 pieces of information. We were able to find the value of x, and then take that value, substitute it back in, and find the missing angles measurements.